Alright, you battlers, you know what it is. JayDevin back at it with another Go Battle League video. Ultra League has started. The Season 4 is upon us, but now it's Season 4 in Ultra League. Now, I kind of prefer Ultra League just because it's much more of a condensed meta. Things are more concise. It's not as open as Great League. Some people prefer playing in open leagues. I think I personally prefer condensed metas. So what I have prepared for you today is my first set that I did ever in Ultra League for Season 4. There's the team. It's very, very similar, if not exactly the same thing as the concept I put together in my video where I led Ferrothorn, swapped with, what did I swap with? Zapdos, and I had Stunfisk in the back. Okay, so the lead with this team is going to be Machamp. I think it's a powerful lead. It has strong coverage. The IVs on the Machamp are terrible. It's not that great. Eventually, I did plan on maxing this one out, which is why I'm just using the Shadow right now. But also, I want to use the Shadow in Ultra League because I prefer its damage output. Now, the swap, much similar to how I was swapping with Zapdos in this case, is going to be Gengar up there. The energy leads with him are insane. I do have the perfect one from the community day. I have 0, 15, 14 with the Shadow Punch, and I'm also actually using Focus Blast as the additional charge move. Now, Berserker is going to be the fallback coverage and the shock factor in this team. My IVs are near perfect. It's the best one I got. Okay, I have 15, 14, 15. Now, here's going to be the first set that we did. I believe the first match was a loss. My first game was a loss, and then the other 4 games were wins. So pretty decent for a first set considering the meta just hit. And I don't really think it's a new meta. Nothing has really changed. Nothing new or game-changing has been introduced to Ultra League for Season 4. That really changes a lot, in my opinion. So there it is. That's the same team I was rocking towards the end of Ultra League last season. And I figured, you know what, why not? I liked it. Not much has changed, right? So I'm going to go back in with the same team. First opponent, Yuya, 7625. GG's again. Like I said, I believe this first match was a loss. Now, that's kind of why you see they opened up with the Giratina. It's kind of hard to come back from that, very hard if not. And this is what they did that I think was actually smart. I think it was very smart of them. I'm kind of getting a headache. They decided to not swap out when I swapped in with the Berserker. So that was it a questionable play? I don't know. But nonetheless, I feel that this is actually what ended up giving them victory, is them not swapping out for my Berserker aggro swap. And you can see with the moveset I'm rocking, Shadow Claw, Close Combat, and Iron Head, I don't have the foul play to hit the Giratina in this situation for super effective. And I think some people sometimes anticipate that, especially if I'm going to be using Berserker as a swap. It's fine for me either way though. Remember, based on my composition in this line, I didn't want to swap Gengar into the Giratina. That's not his best matchup. I'd rather let the Berserker go and come in with the Gengar that has an energy lead. Okay, now if they come in with the Scizor, this is scary. Okay, so I build up enough energy to where I can threaten with the Shadow Ball to see if we get the shield, and that blew my mind that they didn't shield. I'm like, what? How can you not shield that? Anyways, not a big deal. Looks like they have Gengar. I'm sorry, not Gengar. They have Gyarados in the back rocking the Waterfall, possibly Crunch, most likely Crunch, but then presumably Aqua Tail is going to be the moveset they're running for this pick. I decided to actually shield up here in this situation because I want to either get rid of this Gyarados or, well, really I just want to get rid of this Gyarados and then see what we can do if we can possibly close out against the Scizor. But again, like I said, it's not ideal since we are Shadow. We take 20% more damage per, I almost said Iron Head. It's not. It's a Bullet Punch from the Scizor. And I was like, okay, well, we'll tank this Night Slash and then we'll be able to Shadow Claw down. But no, we cannot tank that Night Slash. So again, GG's. Going into this next game against Cross Piece here, and the rest of them here on out were W's, so we took the wins from these, and they open up with the Swampert. Okay, now, most people would think, and maybe I would think as well too, if I'm opening up with a Swampert into a Shadow Machamp, I'm like, I'm going to beat you to the charge moves, and I'm going to be able to put on more shield pressure than you're going to be able to put on. False. Against Shadow Machamp, he's going to, he's going to rock this matchup, especially if you do not shield the first cross chop like that. I'm comfortable enough in a Shadow Machamp lead based on my team composition to be able to just double shield and then farm down on you, okay? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to double shield, and then I'm going to farm down. Kind of like Victory Bell in Great League, right? So we get the farm down, that's done. So they do have 2 shields, but they come out with a Venusaur, okay? So I wasn't too concerned at this point. I know he can take at least 1 shield right here. They don't want to take this damage, especially since they have 2 shields, and they're probably worried and or wondering if I have grass in the back. I don't. at this point I noticed, okay, that's a Razor Leaf Venusaur. So I decided to aggro swap into coming with the Gengar to answer the Venusaur. I throw a Shadow Punch. But lucky for them, they caught it with the Lick Licky. Okay, now, this is exactly why I run Focus Blast. You're about to find out. They decide not to shield, and this Focus Blast is going to 1H KO the Lick Licky. It's gonzo, dude. It's history. Now, they have the Venusaur still left in the back. I believe I come in with the Machamp. No, I don't. I just come in with the Berserker at this point, and I decide, I'm like, you know what? Okay, throw your energy. I'm going to be able to finish you off either way. You're not going to be able to generate enough energy with that Razor Leaf Venusaur to get rid of me at this point. So I built up to have a close combat, and then I swapped into the Machamp. I knew I had a Cross Chop good to go before I swapped, and we throw the Cross Chop, get the shield, come back in with the Berserker here in just a second. And then that's going to be a close combat for the W. So GG's Trainer. Yeah, that's this team, okay, Ultra League. A lot of people like to compose teams in Ultra League that are very bulky, right? Cresselia, Giratina, Registeel. Even those three together make a fantastic team in the Ultra League. This team is all squish, but if played right, this team is going to beat even the bulkiest of teams. It just depends on how you play it. And really, if you go up against that, you know, mega bulk trio, that can be very lead dependent, to be honest with you. So this game was interesting, actually. They came in with an Electivire, and I knew they were going to be throwing these Ice Punches, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I want to shield, because if they just go straight Ice Punch, I can straight just double shield farm down and have buku tons of energy good to go for whatever Pokemon comes in next, right? So looks like they decide to throw 2 Ice Punches, so I can just straight farm down at this point, and then we have lots of energy for whatever's left in the back, which they come in with. Was that a Venusaur? Yeah, I think it's another Venusaur. There's 2 Venusaurs back to back in this set so far. So Venusaur does not shield the Rock Slide. Since I saw the amount of damage that did, I wanted to throw a Cross Chop to bait, and we successfully got the shield on that Cross Chop bait. Now I come in with the Gengar. This is going to be the swap for this situation. They didn't throw or switch, so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to throw the Shadow Punch right away to see if I can take that other shield, or to bring this Venusaur really low. When we end up just bringing it really low. Now, I anticipate a Frenzy Plant would be the best move to throw at this point, but they don't want me to farm down. And look, oh man, they had a Lucario in the back. This isn't ideal for them. Really, they should be throwing as soon as possible, but you see they try to farm up. Now, it's because they're in a very tough position based on how I led and came in with, right? They know I still have that Shadow Machamp, so they want to build up as much energy as they can on this Lucario, but unfortunately they're kind of overestimating Lucario's abilities. Don't get me wrong, you know I love Lucario, especially in the Ultra League, but that he's kind of reached his limits in that matchup. So I just come back in with the Berserker, farm down on the Venusaur, and that is going to be GG's Trainer. Let's move on to the next game. This next game, I believe, is Game 4. Yeah, I think this is Game 4. Game 4 of 5 at this point. So we do have a strong lead, right? A powerful lead at this point. We have the Shadow Machamp into the Empoleon. They swap with the Clefable. I'm like, okay, I'm going to build up a decent amount of energy, one above what I need for a close combat, and I'm just going to throw the Iron Head. They actually shield. Now, usually people in situations like this have not shielded, so I was kind of intrigued based on how they're going to play this out at this point, but more so I was intrigued on what they have in the back. Is what they have in the back really weak to Berserker, or is it really weak to Machamp, right? They obviously want to keep this Clefable, but I don't like the amount of damage that Charm is doing, even though it's resisted. Berserker is just that squishy. It doesn't even hit 2500, and look at that. They have the Obstagoon in the back, so I'm just going to throw this close combat. They should shield, but they don't. That almost one-hit KOs. We can just come in, farm down with the Machamp, and that, I mean, it's pretty much GG's at this point. They can throw a shield here, but then I'm going to be able to just build up to another Cross Chop and then completely obliterate this Empoleon, and that's kind of the power behind a pick like this, right? That's not a bad team composition on their part by any means. I've seen a lot of team compositions like this where they will have kind of a sandwich team on things that are weak to fighters, then they'll swap with either a dragon or a fairy type. And against, you know, the previous metas, and I would say season 1, 2, and 3, that's pretty strong comp. However, I feel like at this point I'm trying to evolve above, you know, those basic team compositions of, am I anticipating an Articuno lead, or am I anticipating a Steel lead, or, you know, am I anticipating a Cresselia lead, for example? What I've done, rather than just anticipating leads from opponents, is I've just built this team with the swap and the fallback coverage. Now, this team can be used against the entire league, I think, very successfully, but again, you have to play it very right. So we kind of glitched out for that last game. I'm sorry we couldn't play with that person, but now Good luck to this opponent. We're going up against the last person. Look at this Spice, dude. Leads with the Whimsicott. Okay, so I'm like, oh, interesting. All right. 2003 combat power. Not too shabby. But then they swap with their own Shadow Swampert. So this is a spicy player, okay? I'm going to bait the basically a Shadow Ball is what I'm trying to go for as threat here. And I'm going to actually shield up at this point. And basically what I want to do moving forward is to just throw double Shadow Punch. I don't want to try and nuke the Swampert. The Swampert's squishy enough since it is a Shadow that if I just get it low enough to farm down with the Machamp, then I'm not really worried about the Shadow Swampert, right? Because I have the energy lead in this situation, right? If the Shadow Swampert had an energy lead, then it would be a lot more trouble to me than I would be to it, if that makes sense. Because once you get that 1, 2, even 3 sometimes Mudshot lead in, Swampert, not even Shadow, just Swampert's going to be amazing in Ultra League. Now, we farm down just like I anticipated. I'm going to throw the Rock Slide at this Whimsicott. I want to swap out immediately, but I also want to see if it KOs first. It doesn't quite KO all the way, unfortunately, so I'm going to swap as quick as I can at the Berserker, farm down, and they have their own Berserker in the back, and they end up rage quitting. Let's go, GG's! And that was it. That was it. That was the entire first set. That's all I've done so far. I haven't even done the rest of my sets yet, so I'll have to do them before the end of the evening. But this is going to be the upload for tonight. What I plan to do moving forward as far as content, I want to see if I can possibly pull out uploads Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then stream Tuesday, Thursday. See if I can stream Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, but we'll see how it ends up working out. Nonetheless, battlers, that is it for this upload. So as always, if you enjoyed, please subscribe. If you feel my vibe, power up, punch the notification bell for more PvP content. That's it for this video. We'll see you in the next video. Have a good stinking day.